Good greetings, Rusty Dog here. Welcome to my live stream where we're going to do a little bit more AI stuff, and we're going to use this new interface. Well, newish, new to me, which is called ComfyUI. And I'm going to try and explain what we're looking at on the screen here. It's all node based, so we're going to check out some images and what it can do and stuff like that. It won't be too long of a stream, and I'll maybe be able to do a gaming one a bit later today, depending how I feel. Hi Andy, welcome. I think it's just me and you at the moment, is it? I'm not quite sure. Yeah. Well, guess what I just saw? Not on AI, in reality. I just saw a snail eating cat food. Yeah, out in my garden. I put down cat food for the couple of cats who don't seem to have any owners. And there was a snail inside the food. Oh, guys, I didn't bring my cup. Hold on, I think it's here. Bear with me. All right. Sorry, I need my cup of tea, Okay, so before now on the AI streams, I've been using an interface called Automatic 1111, which has been running all the Stable Diffusion based AI models to generate the images. But there is a rival, and it's this, ComfyUI. This is completely different. Rather than having a ready-made interface for you, with this one, well, you kind of start from a fresh interface, like a blank page, and you basically go along adding nodes as you want in order to get AI to create your image. So, following a tutorial on the net, I have created, along with the tutorial, this. There's all these cables, let's call them cables or wires. There is an actual way to kind of manage these cables. There is cable management on this in the form of this thing. In the form of one of these cable routers. Anyway, yeah, so I basically built this up following the tutorial, and I was learning a few things along the way. Now, I don't know if I could remember from scratch how to set this up, the flow. I know the first thing is to load the checkpoint, okay, which is the model, the actual AI model. In this case, as you can see, I have, well, you might be able to see it. I might have to resize this. But I have Epic Realism loaded up. And then from there, I don't know what that blue line is. This blue box. I've only just seen that. I have no idea what that is. Anyway, yeah, I love that you can do this, the mouse wheel. And you can, so if you can't see the text, I can just scroll it right in and boom. So from here, we have 3 outputs. And the first one is model. And what's cool about this is if you don't know what to send it to, it can give you some clues. Hello, Gain Damage. How are you, sir? Now, in this case, how you doing, man? Hope you're good. In this case, the model is plugging straight into the model in the sampler here. But I also have another one, K-sampler. So there's actually two output nodes coming out of this, or outputs. One's purple, one's white, and they're both going into the model of the K-sampler. The reason we've got 2 is because we've got 2 output images. I'll explain that in a while. And then we have clip. Now, this is for this text encoding. Now, we've got 2 of those, one going up to here. You can color these boxes how you want, by the way. You can just go to colors and then just choose maybe purple. You can color them as you want, but it tends to be for positive and negative prompts. tend to go with green for positive and maybe red for negative, right? So we've got our positive and negative prompts. So we've got the AI model that gets plugged into a positive and negative prompt. I haven't got any negative here at all. The clip is going to both of those, and then the model is going to the sampler, and the VAE goes to the VAE node back here, which then links into the image. I'm not quite sure what the VAE is. I think it's probably something to do with toning, image toning. I don't know. So yeah, so there's those. And then you have the prompts themselves. So if we look at the prompts, you'll see that we have one. Ignore this connector. That's just me messing about. Don't actually need it. That's just cable management. And I didn't mean to do that. So that's cable management, basically, so I can make the cables look better. So if this was, say, if this cable was getting in the way of something, or I couldn't see where it was going, I can actually just unplug it and stick it into one of these sockets, and then just route it somewhere else, just to keep it out of the way, make it look tidier. Anyway, so the positive prompt is going to the positives of both the samplers. The negative is going to the prompts of both the samplers, the negative, right? And then we have the latent image, which is down here, which is depicting the width and height of the image and how many you want in a batch. So if I tell it to create an image of what I have here, which says fairy tale landscape, if I set that to 4, it's going to create 4 images of fairy tale landscapes, and then I can just pick the ones that I want. Hey, Von Doodle networks. Yeah, these are nodes. Yeah. I'm used to these from Lightwave, but not. Yeah, it's very similar to Lightwave, actually. Very, very similar. And so we've got this thing. Now, in the samplers, they both have, you can't see them here because I changed them. They both have, these are widgets, okay? Now, they both have a widget called the seed, the random seed. Now, you can see that they're not here. And that's because I right-clicked and did convert to input. So I converted these seeds to inputs. So now they've become inputs, seed, noise seeds. And the reason for that is I didn't want to have a different randomized number here than here, right? Because I want to produce 2 images that look like one came from the other. And if I have 2 completely random seeds, they're going to be 2 completely random different images, and I don't want that. So what I've done is we've created an integer here, which is set to randomize. So it will randomize this value every single time you click go, but that same number will be sent to both samplers. So they'll both be rendering off the same randomized seed number. Are you following me? And this latent upscale, all that is, as you can see, it's normally the latent would come out of K-sampler and go into here, straight across to latent image. But we've got this right in between, right in the middle. And as you can see, it's upscaling by 2. So what it's doing is it's producing this image, and then it's producing this one. This is the one that's done with the K-sampler advanced, and this is the one that's done with the K-sampler. So what this one's doing is it's producing an image twice the size of this one. So if this one is 910 by 512, then this one will be 1820 by 1024. Yes, got my maths right. So that's what this is doing. So why 2 images? Well, for this one, it's kind of experimental, really. You can see on this one that this sampler only does 12 steps. So the more steps, the more detail, perhaps, let's say. It's using the scheduler normal. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it's kind of like ways of generating the image, I guess. Now, Keras, I found out, is the name of a scientist guy who actually works at Nvidia right now. And Euler, or Euler, I think his name is pronounced Euler, is a German scientist or physicist or something, mathematician perhaps, from the 15th century, something like that. Anyway, so it's using 12 steps to generate this fairy tale landscape and putting the image here. But then this one is using the prompts and the seed and the image size all plugged into here to generate 30 steps, but it's starting at step 12. So it's taking over from where this one left off and generating 18 more steps. But with this time we're using the Keras scheduler, and that's producing this image. As you can see, they are wildly different. And so this is how this is looking. So I guess the reason that I've got it set up like this is this will produce what you could call a more simplistic image based on the prompt. And then this one's going to go into more detail. So if we look at this and we go to open image and I bring this one up, bear in mind this is a smaller size, you'll see that the fairy tale landscape has a castle and a tree and a bridge and what looks like a girl there. And it's pretty nice on its own. And if you upscaled that as well to add some detail, because upscaling does keep the detail very nicely as well. It's AI. It doesn't just do what Photoshop does, which would be resize. No, this is resize plus AI. So it's adding detail and keeping it nice. However, if we go to this version, well, this is the one with the 30 samples. And this is from a 2-word prompt, fairy tale landscape. That is all I said. And I got this. Now the girl's disappeared, but it's been replaced by little people down here. I'm hoping you guys can see that. So we got little people down here. We've got a much more detailed castle. Look at the difference here. I'll bring this one up. The bridge has got more complex, and wow, I'm hearing some loud noises outside. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yeah, so the tree is looking okay there, but on here it's much more detailed. And these are just with very simple prompts. Now, here's the thing that I like about this. I have managed using a symbolic link on my folders, so I don't have to copy another 12.6 gigs across, to have all of my automatic 1111 stroke stable diffusion AI models in here as well. I just created a symbolic link, right? So I can have them all here. And if I change to a different one, it's going to take longer to encode the image because it has to load the model, get all the details from it. It does something called setting up memory efficient cross attention. I have no idea what that is, but I guess it's just making things memory efficient. And that'll take around a minute before it produces the image. But then after that, once it's got that model loaded in and you want to run another image, it's going to take, at the moment, with these prompts and with this setup, around 6 to 7 seconds. That is way faster than the automatic 1111 interface. Way faster, I think. Although I'm only producing one image, but we'll see now. Mr. Loot is with us. Hello, Mr. Loot. Let's have a look. I hope they make an open source network UI that can be used for all sorts of things. Well, this is all open source. All this is free. ComfyUI, automatic 1111. You don't pay for anything. You don't pay for any of this stuff. Now, the cool thing with this is you can load and save different workflows. I've called this one Rusty 1. Well, hang on. I'll change the model in a sec. The model here will change instantly, but it's in the command prompt. Let me see if I can pop that on the screen for you guys too. I'd like to pop that up if I can. If I run to the live stream and go to a window on top and choose the command prompt, that is a little bit too big. That's full screen. Yeah, we don't want it. No, we don't want it. Let's bring it down. See if I can pop it in a space. Something like that. And just take it away from the edge. So, in fact, let me just move this. I'm just going to pop out of studio mode so I can move it live. Right. I'll pop it down there. So this is how you see it. You're nerdly excited. Don't worry, we'll do all the model changing. I just want to do something a little bit different for now. Now I don't see the prompt, the command prompt like you do anymore. So I'm going to change the prompt here from fairy tale landscape to future. I'm just going to do it very simple. Futuristic city. I have no idea what it's going to do. For futuristic cities, it tends to do neon lights everywhere. So using epic realism, I'm not going to use any negative prompt, just futuristic city. So what it's going to do is it's going to change that random number the moment I press Q prompt. That random number is going to change, and it's going to plug that number into both of the samplers. This sampler is going to run 12 steps and produce this image. This one's going to run up to 30 steps and produce this image at twice the size. So this will come up quicker, and then we have to wait a bit longer for this one. Go. You can see it running through here, the green, and now this one's running through. The boxes light up and you get the progress. There's the first image. Okay, so this is the 12-step image. Plenty of lights there. Kind of cool. Yeah. So the refined image, what's that going to look like? Well, it's nearly there. I think, did that one says it take 2 seconds? Yeah, this took 2 seconds and this took 27. It's just doing the VAED code and then it'll pop it in there. Boom. Okay, so let's pop into this one. So we've gone from here with the 12 steps up to here with the 30 steps. And that is at 1820 by 1024. Now I can go bigger. I can go full 2K on this, and I don't have any memory issues at all. Let me just get rid of the thing. You see, it's blocking the way now. Give me a second. Okay, so there's our less sampled image, and there's a bit more. It's the same prompt. Everything is the same. The only thing is there's more AI steps. So you might think if I change it to 50, it's going to get even more detail. And then, but it doesn't really work out that way, because if you take that number up too much, it's going to start distorting things. And it's not going to look too cool. So let's get rid of these. And let's try something like, oh, I know what we can try. I'm trying to zoom in. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to do a couple of prompts here. So macro. I want a macro photograph of colony of ants. That's it, macro. I haven't suggested whether it's an illustration, a cartoon, or whatever. I think it's going to do a photo. I hope so. But if we don't want a cartoon, we can put that here. If we don't want low quality, we can put that there too. And we don't want a 3D render type of thing. We don't want an illustration. Medium quality, don't even want that. You don't, yeah, sometimes you don't really need too many of these things. I've seen some prompts where they're just ridiculous. Like it's just, there's some keywords are repeated over and over. And I feel like if the AI could interpret that in English, it would be saying, yeah, masterpiece, realistic, high quality, yep, high detail, photo of a woman in library, masterpiece, high detail. And he's going, yeah, you said that before, you know. And I'm just thinking of the AI just complaining like, why do you have to keep saying masterpiece, realistic, high quality? I get it, I get it. And then in the negative clip, it says low quality, medium quality. But do you need to tell it don't do low quality when you've already told it up here to do high quality? Anyway, that seems to be the trend. So let's run that. And we're going to first see how quick it can do this first image. Boom. Just done. That didn't take long. So, wow. That's with 12 steps. That's a macro. It's not really a colony, however. Brutalist future city. Yeah. Is that the prompt we should do? Oh, futuristic city will be my first prompt. Is it possible to do 4K images? Yes. But here's the thing though. You can do it at 2K and then upscale by 2 to get it to 4K. And even with low memory, like 4 gigs of VRAM, your gigabytes of RAM don't count here, okay? I mean, they probably will. You've got CPU mode and Nvidia GPU mode here. But what it's going to be using is your VRAM, your graphics card memory. But even on 4 or 8 gigs, if you use the tiling method, which I don't know if you can do it on this, but if you use a tiling method where it's upscaling your images by just breaking it up into square tiles and doing one tile at a time, that way you can do it where you might have to wait a while. If you want an 8K image of this, right? If you want an 8K image, you can just, I can tile it, I can, tell it to do it that way, but increase it with tiles, increase the size by tiles. And that way, I don't have to worry about memory, but I might have to wait a while. But yeah, and that's in Automatic 1111. How this one scales, I don't know. But so far, I've told it to do native 2560 by 1440 images, and I have not had any memory problems. Of course, it just takes longer to render the image, especially with 30 steps, but still. Now, this is 12 steps, this is 30. I actually prefer, in this case, 12 steps. Because this coloration here on the back of the ant looks as I've taken macro photographs of ants. I've no idea what the hell that's supposed to be. And this is the color that they are. This one doesn't have, well, it does have a little bit, but look at the detail in the soil as well. Now we can change where they are here. Well, it's not that it's the AI that doesn't know what an ant is. It might depend on the AI model that I'm using. If I switch from epic realism to something else, it might do a better job. Plus, you can put in the negative prompt. You don't want to have too many legs, too many arms, too many whatever. So the prompt can also change. And also, if I render another one with a different seed, it might produce a better looking ant. So here I can put high detail. I think I don't need to put high detail because as far as I'm concerned, I got high detail already. So if I choose a batch size of 2, it's going to produce 2 images, 2 lower ones and 2 more sampled ones. And these images aren't being saved, by the way, but if you want to save, let's say I want to add a save image. Instead of me going, right, there's a couple of ways I can do this, right? I can go right click, add node, image, and then save image, and there it is. And then I just plug this into there. And then I can right click here, go title, change my prefix name. Oops, no, that's the title of the box, sorry. It's that one. I can change the prefix name here to whatever I want. And now it's going to save it. So what will happen here is when this is rendered, because that means I'm not saving this one because I haven't put a save prompt on there, but I'm saving this one. And then it'll come up with a Windows prompt saying, where do you want to save the image? Okay. So that was a way to add it, you know, doing it like that, just by clicking, right clicking, but there's another one. If I just drag out a cable and leave go, now it's giving me all the options that I can plug into for that cable. I'm going to call it a cable, okay? And save image is one of them. Bang, and it connects it. How freaking cool is that? It's the same as if like you weren't sure, let me get rid of this. If you weren't sure where to put latent, for example, you could drag out a cable and leave go. And you can say, right, which one do you want to put it on? Latent upscale by, which you've already got one of those. VAE, you go, yeah, VAE, that's what I need. And you just do that one and it'll plug it in. Also, if you have prompts like these that you don't need, see, there's nothing on here you need to change. So you can right click and do collapse and it'll just make it a little bit smaller. Make it a little bit tidier if you want to do it that way. I've seen people collapse this one as well, but sometimes I like to change this. You can uncollapse it, obviously. And this one, do you always want it to be twice the size? What if I said 4 times the size, or 3 times? Let's say 3 times. Like if I chose my native resolution, which is 2560 by 1440. So if we were to half that, this would be 720 on this side. And I believe 1280 would be. Yeah. So that would be half the size. So this top image is going to be 1280 by 720. And this bottom image will be twice the size of my native resolution. So we'll try that, see how long it takes to do the image, and we'll change what the image is. I could say colony of ants on a leaf, or let's stick with nature. I like nature. So how about, what would you call like a load of ants? You know, when they walk in a line. I'm just going to put lots of ants climbing up a tree in the jungle. That's it. Yeah. And I like that this thing stays wherever. You can do wherever you want with this, and this stays where it is. So we'll queue that up and see how long it takes to do a 720 image and then a 1440 image. Good afternoon, Angry Citizen. Oh, you're welcome, Von Doodle. Is it a column? It would be going upwards, wouldn't it? Oh. Okay, that looks kind of cool. Those ants are huge. Let's just pretend that's a twig and not the actual bark of the tree. Those ants are massive, although they do look kind of cool. But this is the native size. So that's the 720 image. Jeez. Let's just pretend that's just a little bit of the tree and not the actual, or it's a very thin tree or a very small tree, because those ants are huge. Maybe there are certain species of ant that are just like, you know, mega ants. So you can see we are now, this green box is lit up, so this is where it's at, and this is the progress that it's taking. So it's not taking this long because this is how long it takes to double size the image. No, it is double sizing the image, right? And there's various ways of doing this as well. I don't know what by slurp is. I guess that's when two people are eating soup, maybe. I don't know. So you got the upscale 2, and then it's also increasing the amount of steps to 30 from 12. Oh, so much. What's that heart thing? Oh, right. Sorry, I was looking what the heart was in the chat there. Not seen that before. What happens if you press it? Oh, they're like auto emojis? Oh, okay, that's a new thing. Yeah. But I like this image. Look at the detail on the tree and everything. Wow. And this is just with 12 steps. Normally, I think I would, like in automatic 1111, I'd just set the steps to around 20, 25, maybe even 28, up to 30. And then just say produce 4 images based on that. Where this one, we've got it doing 2 different stages, which you can't do that in automatic 1111 at the same time, I don't believe. And oh, and also, this isn't the be and all and end all, guys, because if you remember, down here, we selected a batch size of 2. So up here, it's actually produced 2 images, and you can see 1 of 2. And there's the other one. Again, I didn't realize it just, yeah, so what it's doing here is 30 steps, twice the size, plus it's doing 2 images. This is why we're having to wait a little while. So now we got this bugger on the go. So it's actually rendered that one and that one. I love the depth of field, how it's gone blurry in the background. That's really cool. And that's what you would expect that on every macro shot anyway. Macro shots will blur the background. There's no way out of it. Although I have produced macro photos where everything is in focus. But you need software for that, and multiple images, and a still subject, and software controlling your camera. But you can do it. I've done it, and it looks freaking impressive at the end. Anyway, yeah, so these ants, I don't know, it's got quite a long, I don't know whether they've fused or if they're just confused. Okay, so it should be jumping over to VAE code very soon. Does that light up while it's collapsed? It does. So it's doing the decode, and then it'll pop the final image there. Yeah, Elon Musk seems to be a target loot, where I've seen videos of him saying things, and you look at it and you believe it. There was a video of him going around, I'm assuming it's AI, where he's saying if Call of Duty or Activision don't sort out, I don't know, he was whinging about something. If they don't sort such and such out, I'm just going to buy the company. I'm going to buy Activision and fire everybody. And yeah, fire everybody that and get rid of multiplayer matchmaking or something like that. The one that matches you with people based on your own skill, that stuff. And I commented on it saying how cool it is to have so much money and power that you can just, if you don't like something in a game, you can literally just buy the whole freaking developer and sack people. But I think it was an AI video of him saying it, and you can't tell. I mean, well, you can if you look close, maybe. All right, so that's one image, and then we've got the other one. Right, so these are my full screen. we had to wait a little while. And yeah, this ant's okay, but some of them don't look quite like ants, so it's not perfect there. But hell. Oh, and it also tells me on the command prompt that it took to generate this one was 300 and let's call it 340 seconds. So 5 minutes 40 seconds to generate this at 2K. Yeah. And you can see that the upscaling hasn't taken away any detail, not even on the ants' bodies, because, you know, the AI sticks all that in for you. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't do anything like that. You don't lose any quality. But if you were to take this image and upscale it in Photoshop, you'd see a loss of quality. The only time you could do it outside of here is software like Topaz Gigapixel AI, which would quite easily scale this up to twice the size and not lose quality. But yeah, it's nice to have it just done inside of here. So I would say that we should reduce this down just a tad. For quickness, probably go 512 here, and then the 16.9 variant of this would be 910. Oops, how has it got 912 there? Is that what I typed in? Nope, I typed in 910. Okay, it doesn't want to do that. I think if you divide 512 by 9 and multiply it by 16 to get the 16.9, I think it's going to be 910. Yeah, I'm sticking with that anyway. So, you want me to change the thing? We're going to change, okay, let's change this the other way around. I'd like to have a little switcheroo thing here, but we don't have that, where you switch it and it swaps the width and height round. We don't have it. So let's go 512 here, and we'll just do 910 here. Actually, let's do it. Let's play with some standard values, 768, because the reason why it's good to stick to these as well is because these models are trained at these resolutions. So if you go a little bit larger, let's say you want to render a person and the height, if I put 1024 here, so it's a really long portrait, you might get people with two heads or two bodies and stuff like that, and it kind of have some deformity sometimes. So if you stick to these resolutions that it's trained at, you don't get that so much. So if we switch to, I like this one called humans because it does people, but it doesn't normal people. It doesn't, like every time you generate a picture of a woman or a guy, she doesn't have to be extremely beautiful, or the guy doesn't have to be some rugged, handsome dude. They're just normal people from everyday life, which I kind of like that. I like that we have that. But there's one which I can't seem to get to called Photon. So there's Photon. So now if I generate an image, by the way, these little circles here, that's just me. That's just my Firefox. It has an add-on for grammar and spell checking and stuff like that. And this is just correcting me on my things. So anyway, yeah. Using Photon, we're going to do a portrait of somebody. I can't guarantee that it will be safe for work. Actually, I probably try. Actually, if I try and put this in, I can. So nude, naked, not safe for work. There we go. We'll add that into the negative, and we'll just make it simple. Keep the prompt simple. Some of these AI models work better with more simple prompts. You know. So sometimes you can actually make it do images of celebrities. Other times you have to just use certain special trained Loras. I don't know how to add a Lora into this yet. I'm assuming it can be done though. What would it be? Yeah, load a Lora. But that goes from model to model. So does it come out of the checkpoint, into the Lora, out of the Lora, and across? If I pull that across there and leave go, checkpoint loader sample. Simple. Checkpoint loader simple. Yeah. So if I add that, that's one of these. So it can plug into this. But all my Loras are in the automatic 1111 folder. I didn't set up a symbolic link on my network drive like I did with the other one. So I would have to copy those over or create symbolic links. I don't have any Loras as such, but yeah, we can add those. So this is good for adding detail to renders and making it do specific tasks within that render. So photo of. Actually, we want portrait, don't we? Portrait. This is, Photon's pretty good for this. Portrait of, come on guys, help me out here. What do we want? Male, female, age, background. I mean, what's in the background? Oh, portrait of, let's just do 35-year-old woman and leave it there. Nothing else. And I'm going to add bokeh because that's the background I want. Okay. Now, just because I put nude, naked, not safe for work, it doesn't mean it won't do lingerie and stuff like that. We can handle it, right? Can't we, guys? We can handle it. So what it's doing now, if I get the window, is it's loaded the checkpoint, Photon, and now it's doing all of this memory efficient cross attention. So I guess it's just analyzing, I don't know, and just making it. It's to do with resolutions here. Query dimension is 1280, context dimension is 768, which is the one I've specified. So I don't know. It's kind of just doing, I don't know what it's doing. Oh, and there's the image coming. The first one looks a little bit like Mini Driver. And it's squeezed both onto the one prompt. That's kind of cool. I hope they are treated as separate images, though. Yeah, they are. She looks a bit Mini Driver-ish. Except she hasn't got freckles or this. What colour is Mini Driver's eyes? I think they're brown. Anyway. And now it's generating the other image. You can see here. And it's doing 2 images, yep. And that's it. I think it's done them. Right? Yeah, it has. Kaboom boom. Done. Took a minute and a half to do these two and these two. Not 5 minutes. But I will get the batch size down to 1. But yeah. So we have her. What did we say? 35-year-old? Look at the, I mean, I didn't specify anything else. I just said I didn't specify hair, eye color, whether she was going to wear lipstick, what kind of necklace she was going to have on, if any jewelry at all, what she was going to be wearing. I just said bokeh, which is what you see in the background, these lights. And now we've got the other one, which is here. So let's put them in order. So we've got image 48, image 49. Right? Kind of cool. It invents the clothes. It does all of that. Loot. Yeah, it depends on your resolution and settings and all that stuff. I found this ComfyUI to be very bleeding quick, though. So if we look now at the refined images, if we go, so this is the equivalent of 40, 8, which is image 50, you can, I mean, the difference is absolutely noticeable. Put that over to there. So we have the 12-step version, which looks okay in and of itself. It looks fine. Nothing wrong with that. The hair looks fairly detailed. Obviously, there's a very shallow depth of field here, to the point where even her neck is out of focus. I can change that with the prompt. I can tell it to use a different camera aperture, so she's more in focus. This must be like a 1.4 or a 1.8 aperture to get her shoulder out of focus. I mean, her shoulder isn't far away from her face, and it's already defocusing. Maybe that's to do with the bokeh. I don't know. Now, the 30 sampled image is this one. She's looking a bit older there, I think, but certainly more facial detail. The hair detail is even more. I think the fact that it's jumping up and down isn't helping. There we go. Does she look older than 35 though? 1/4. What's 1/4? Does she look older than 35? The necklace has changed. If you look here, oof, feeling a bit dizzy here. Right, so the necklace has changed there. Just looking at the clothes as well. Yeah, look, even this, just by sampling a bit further, from 12 up to 30, we're getting different clothing, even more detailed, I would say. And then we've got this lady. That was at up to step 12, and now on to steps 30. We don't have to have it at 30, we can have it at 20. So we're only adding another 8 more steps on top. It doesn't have to go all the way to 30. But look at her eyes here. They look a little bit, well, they're large, and she looks like it's all pupils. The eyes here are much, much more detailed. Man alive. Yeah, look here at here we've got it looks like there's got a bit missing here. Can we go in a bit more? There we go. I don't know if I've got them at the right sizes. Yeah, I think but just not in the right place. It's hard to line up between tabs. Yeah, and look at the hair, just in this area here. Let me get rid of the window on top here. So if you look at the hair here, just in this batch, this area here, and then you see here, look at this. The difference is just crazy. So you might think, well, why bother with the image 12, the step 12 image then? You know, why bother with that? And my answer would be, I haven't got the faintest idea. Yeah. I guess here, what you can do as well is you can change different samplers, different schedulers, and see how it looks here. Like, I could put these both down to 12 and then just use different samplings, right? I could use, let's say, that one, and then this one, I could start this one at step 0 and step it up to 12, so it'll be the same as this, but or make them both 20 and then just change the sampler name. So we'll get 2 of the same images, only with different samplers. So if we set this to I'm going to go to 25, and then I'm going to set this one to 25, but it has to start at 0, I would say. And we've got sampler DPM and scheduler normal. This one is using, let's put the scheduler on this one to Keras as well to match the other one. So these two are now matching. It hasn't got this function, but these two are matching, except the sampler name is now different. So now we can test two images, one with the Euler or Euler and one with DPM FPM thing. Yeah, so we're getting the first one first with DPM PP. And now we're getting the second one, which I think should be the same image, but with a different sampler. And this way you can test different samplers. If you really wanted to, you could set up more than one case sampler here. You could do 8 of them, or 6 of them to do, 6 different samples. But the cable management would be nuts. I mean, look at this. Whoa. Okay. Do you know what we should do first? Is set them both to the same settings and see if we're getting the same images. Because that's wildly different. Obviously, this one is getting twice the size. I can't believe her neck is out of focus already. I think we're going to fix that in the prompt. I'm going to get rid of the bouquet. And we're going to get camera lens of f8. Yeah, f8 should be enough. Do I have to specify aperture f8? I don't know. Maybe. So let's set these two the same and see if we get the same result. Both 25 steps. I'm just wondering whether the advanced one is producing a different image. The only thing that's happening on the advanced one that's different that I can see is that it's being upscaled. We can set this to 1, so it's effectively not doing anything. The decodes here are both the same. So both Euler Keras, the end step and start step, I don't know why that's... These are different prompts, but the denoise is set to 1 there, or 100%, I guess you would say. Yeah, these are two different. Okay, let's just cue that and see what happens. If we don't get the same image, then it's not really a scientific experiment. Oh, it's gone black and white on us this time. It's not really an experiment to change sampler names. There we go. Are they the same? Well, they're close, but they're not. No, they're not. So this is the 12 sample. Well, I wonder why it went black and white on us. They're not quite the same. Okay, they're damn close. I mean, the hair is a bit different. And she ain't 35, guys. Oh, at least 45. Yeah. I wonder why it went black and white. I want to do another one. I want to see if it's going to do black and white again. I'm just wondering whether it's something to do with the prompt. No, it isn't. Okay. Okay, these are radical differences. Yeah. So this is the advanced one. That's why I've got it changed. I've changed it to final preview here. And this one just says preview image. Wait. That's another thing you can do as well. You can double click on this. You want to add something and you want to find the name. like save image, you can double click here and just type save. And there it is. That's just double clicking on the canvas here. One of them worked 20 years in direct sunlight. She hasn't even got a tan though. And it's given her like this red purpley coat on both, but wildly different though. Right? Let's get rid of Mrs. Black and White there. We'll open up this one. She looks vaguely like somebody I know. So even just using 20 steps, I'm trying to think which one I prefer. Interesting. I actually thought these would be, if I change this from Sampler Advanced to K-Sampler, like this one is, I would certainly expect exactly the same image. Definitely. Oh, God. You want to upscale by 1.03. You can upscale by 1.5 or to 3. 2 is good. We could even plug this into, how would we do this then? Oh, I could do another one of these, upscale latent. I could do another one and plug it into here. So they're both twice the size. Yeah, we could do that. I'm trying to figure out how to add something. Hello, Zonta. It's not a dangerous game. I'm trying to figure out how to add a node of something that I could use. Mask. Load image as a mask. Like the face changing thing that I've got for my automatic 1111. Oh, the other thing I want to check out, it might take a few minutes to test though, guys. I hope you're okay with that. Is if I tell it to generate an image here with a specific model like Photon, which is what we're using, take these prompts, run it through the K-Sampler. Let's forget the advanced one for now. Run it through the K-Sampler with these settings, right? Or a particular set of settings to get to this final image. And then go back into automatic 1111. Same prompt, same everything, and see if it produces the same image. We'll capture the seed number as well to make sure it does exactly the same. And also how long it would take to render that image, how much, if it's quicker, slower. But we can only do it from this one, I think, because some of these settings I don't have in automatic 1111, so we wouldn't be able to really capitalize on them. So I think I've not tried any of these other ones. Tune is in automatic 1111. Some of these DPM ones are, but they've got slightly different names, I think. I think they're the same ones. Euler and Euler Ancestral are both in automatic 1111. Let's put this one back down to 12. And also the CFG as well, which is, I'm going to tell you what CFG is, guys, because I keep forgetting. Second. Classifier free guidance. Classifier free guidance. Basically, the more higher the number, the more it's going to stick rigidly to your prompt. The less the number, the more artistic license you're giving the AI. So let's get a guy. Let's do a guy. Same age, perhaps. 35-year-old man, portrait. Let's make him handsome. I don't want some ugly old goon. And no offense to ugly goons. There's a place in the world for ugly goons, definitely. Right. We kept these the same. This wasn't the case before though, was it? We had normal on here before. Okay. But, wait a minute. I'm going to set it to Keras because I can set that in automatic 1111 as well. So, we're going to run this. Let it all happen. And then I'm going to capture the prompt, which is portrait of a 35-year-old handsome man, aperture. I'm going to have to put those into a text file actually, because I need to know the... Okay, do a rich text file then, you little tool. No, don't do a rich text file. If I wanted a rich text file, do a poor text file. Text document. There we go. I actually prefer the other one, the first one. Right, so let's... So we have... I'm going to take these. I think I can... Yep, we can. Take that. That's the positive. Then we've got... We will come back to this as well. Got that. That can be the negative. And then we've got... Oh, I only used 12 steps. I probably should have gone higher on that one. Oh, and this is... Yeah, this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. This should have been starting at 12. So go again. Well, this image doesn't matter in this case. I'd like to have used higher steps here, but it's okay. So steps 12, CFG is 8, sampler is Euler or Euler, because he's German it would be pronounced Euler, I would think. And Keras, and the denoise is set to 1. Now, I wouldn't do that in automatic 1111, but okay, we'll try it. I don't normally set denoise up to 1 in 1111. That's just way too much. Yeah, this one's not working out too well anyway. But add noise. Turn with lower left opening here. What's happening with this dude here? I mean, he looks alright, but why is he pointing at his neck? And how come this image is looking better? Even there's a white line down here. I've never seen that before. This is like if they rebooted Happy Days, he'd play the Fonz. Okay, so we need to save out this dude. So I'm going to just save the image. I'm going to call it that, ComfyUI 60. There we go. So we can leave the interface here, but we're going to shut down the engine. I think I've got all the info I need. 512 by 768. Yeah, we can always come back. Oh, no. We need this. Yes, this is very important. The seed. Otherwise, we're going to get a completely different person. Is automatic 1111 going to produce this? Well, we're going to shut down ComfyUI completely now. Good night. I'm just going to shrink this down a little. And we're going to start up Now the good thing about it, what's cool is with ComfyUI is ComfyUI, not ComfyUI. When you launch the batch file to fire it all up, once it's got to the stage where it's ready for you to use the browser, it knows what your default browser is, fires it up, and takes you straight to that page. This one, 127.0.0.1.8188, takes you straight there. So we're just firing up automatic 1111, and we're going to get into that interface. It's on a different port number, so we can run it here completely separate, but it's not going to be ready yet. It's just booting up. In fact, can I? Can I? Yeah. It's booting up there, guys. Booting. Obviously, if you have a better card than me, a better graphics card with more RAM, you know, with automatic 1111, you can jump straight into those bigger images natively instead of resizing. Okay, so there it is, running on local URL. So let's twist again, just like we did last summer. We'll put that down there, get a shot of it. Right? Bingo. Okay, this is more familiar, isn't it? So we're using Photon, right? And this is what we're using. If we go into ComfyUI, using Photon V1, safe tensors, and we're using the same one up here. Now the VAE, I'm going to set it to none. I'm guessing that's what's going to do things. I've added a couple of things to my interfaces. So actually what I can do is take this and just copy paste it in. Bingo. And in the negative prompt, we put in what we don't want to see. Now, the sampling method, we didn't use the ancestral one, we just used the normal Euler one. Sampling steps, well, it was set really low, wasn't it? We set it to 12. And the CFG scale was 8. Now the denoise, you don't have it here. We don't have it here as a function. If we wanted that, we could maybe use, well, ControlNet would introduce that, but to do other things with that, you can't just add denoise here. But there is a noise C delta, which is not the same thing. And a detailer, this is my new way of fixing faces now. I don't use restore faces when they're mangled. I don't bother with that anymore. I think this A detailer is better. It can do faces and hands and people, and I don't know what media pipe is, but media pipe face, I don't know. But yeah, it's very good. It replaces manky faces with normal faces. It looks to me like it just gets them from stock images. I don't know, but it works. Right. The other thing was, which is really important here, really important, seed. So let's just quickly grab that again and pop it into here. Cool. So we need that size, and we need a 768. CFG scale has jumped. Okay, so let me just show here that we've got everything right. So CFG8 sampler is Euler. Then we have, it says here Keras as well, but then Keras is down here. I can't have both of them. So it looks like we are going to get differences here because we've got a denoise on ComfyUI, which we don't have on. We've got this denoise factor, which we don't have, and I don't know what the default is on. I don't know whether, it's already set to 1 in Automatic 1111. And we've also got the sampler name and the scheduler. We don't have a scheduler in here. All right. Everything else is the same. So the question is, can we get this guy? Or will it go anywhere close? And how long will it take? It's doing a preload thing. I guess to get the accurate time, you'd want to render it twice. Because it may be, for the first time, it may be having to create some. It's going to have to do some scripting here. Let's just take a look at it. I have learned that when it looks like it's not doing anything, it is. So leave it. It's going to do. I don't normally, you can generate some decent images with these amount of steps, but I don't normally go this low when I'm generating stuff. But I've got so much more here as well. All of this cool stuff and all of these add-ons down here, like, see, I've got this new ControlNet thing here, which is pretty cool. You can actually just get a canvas here, scribble a drawing, and it'll render a real one or a cartoon one. We've got a aspect ratio calculator, ControlNet, which is powerful as F, group, which is good for face swapping, segmentation, which is great for masking out and replacing parts of images, and some of these scripts, which was for doing upscaling. And this XYZ plot is just awesome if you want to do comparisons over different settings. XYZ prompt is just supreme for that. What the hell is taking so long here? I know, I can see it's just sat there doing whatever it's doing. And the interface still says interrupt and skip, so it's definitely working. I'm confident that it'll kick in. I'll know when it does it because my graphics card will, the fans on my graphics card will start to spin. I wonder if I think you can have both Comfy and Automatic 1111 running at the same time. You can have them all loaded in at the same time, I guess, if you've got the RAM. But I wouldn't attempt to click on render on both at the same time. No, not unless you want a melted graphics card. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. No, that'd be bad. What's happening here then? A detailer isn't enabled. There's no scripts running. Is it just taking that long to process the photon model? VAE this time. Clip skip is set to. Only generating one image. Yep, no issues as far as I can see. Let me guess. ComfyUI didn't unload the memory when it quit. And now there's none left. Check up here. Everything went okay, right? Yep. No errors. This one that we get couldn't find VAE. That's normal. I don't know why it does that. I think that's a bug. It doesn't load the VAE, which is this thing up here. So even if this says that it is there up here, if you want it to work, I think you've got to set it to none and then go back in and set it to VAE, and then it'll work. Pain in the arse. I'm not going to give this too much longer, guys, because this normally doesn't take this long. I don't know. Let's interrupt it, if we can. Not. If I quit out of here, yeah, something's wrong here. Okay, I'm going to fire it up again. This is the shit you get when you go live. All right, let's fire it all up. All good. Open up a new tab. I haven't done an update for a few days on this. ControlNet and Roop all going in. Photon loaded up. Photon here loaded up, fine. V1 inference. Running in EPS protection mode. This is all normal. It's all good. Textual inversion embedding. Oh, okay. I know what they are. CUDA setup. Yeah, done. Okay, cool. It's not going to. Let's see if I can bring the prompts back. Okay, cool. It's got all the settings in place, yes? Yes. And the seed, yep. This is what's good. You can quit this. And then you go back in, you just click this little tick and it'll put all your last settings back in. I am going to deliberately switch out to a different model, which, because it's on my network drive, will take around 30 seconds. I'm going to switch back into Photon. Just to make sure, it's loaded. I've never seen it just hang before. It was probably, when I abandoned it, it was probably like 0.3 seconds from kicking off. That would be so typical. It used to take 5 seconds to load these, but because I'm now grabbing them from my network folder instead, my network drive, it's taking like, you know, this amount of time. This is a little bit too long. It's normally 30 seconds. I wonder why it's taking so much longer. 30 to 40 seconds I would expect it to take. Okay, 58.1 seconds. Wow, now we got to go back to Photon. It won't be quicker because it had it there before. It'll still take just as long. Unless the orange chill mix model was just bigger. Could be that. Let's see how long this one takes. So this is the downside to having your models on a network drive. But the upside, there you go, 29.5 seconds. But the upside is that I get to save 112 gig on my normal drive, my local drive. Plus, if I wanted to use the same models again in ComfyUI, I'd have to copy them to that folder as well. So that's 224 gig. Where this way, oh, here it goes. It's just going. Boom. All right, let's get rid of the window. Now, guys, is this, all right, he's tanned here. Is this the same dude in different clothes? He's well, is it the same guy? It's not the same render, is it? Even though the values of the seed and the CFGs are all the same, this is not the same. And that's not a bad image for considering it only used 12 steps. That's pretty freaking good, actually. Depth of field is just no good, though. The old one looks 7 years younger. So this guy? And the skin tone, he's more tanned there, isn't he? Yeah. Let's, how long did that take, by the way, does it say? Oh, shut up, Alexa. Oh, it was around the same. 6 seconds, I think it's claiming. Okay. This aperture f8, is that what it thinks this is at? I don't think so. F8 would have put his coat in focus. And definitely would have put his ears in focus. So, I'm going to run this again. See how long it takes. Oh, it is pretty quick, isn't it? That was 4 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty quick. He's starting to look a bit Ross from Friends now. And everything's in focus. So I guess it just didn't like aperture f8. It was happy with me just saying f8. What's with the white bar at the top? Yeah, 4 seconds. So it is quick. It is really quick. It can produce Ross from Friends in 4 seconds. Oops. I just shut it down. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that. Not that it matters. We'll jump back into Comfy in a little sec. I'm trying to think if there was something. What is it on here that I had new? Oh yeah, so I don't know how we can do this to demonstrate it, but if I do an image, let me do 2 images because I'm going to need a couple of tries on this one. Up the sampling to about 25. Happy with that. Euler A is fast. It's quicker than any of the DPMs. So I want a photo of a soldier. That's it. Full body. Oops. Full view. In other words, don't give me a head-only shot. Okay? The reason is because if you have a head only, you don't need to use restore faces. It's normally quality enough. But if you have the whole body and the face is kind of small in the image, sometimes it gets a bit distorted and you need to use restore faces. But restore faces isn't that great. So let's just render one. And what we're looking for here is a bad face. Okay, it's picked the era. You know, I've been doing soldiers like dressed in stealth gear with what do you call it, rifles and things like that. So forget this image. All right, he looks like Action Man. Doesn't look realistic at all. That can be changed with prompts, of course, by telling it I want it realistic. So if we come down to batch 1 and recycle the seed and generate again, we should get this exact same guy. Cool. Awesome. Now, I don't know if it's going to be better or worse. It usually can be better, but concentrate here on the face. And what we want to do now is do the exact same image again, but this time we're going to use a detailer, and we're going to use, I'll keep it on this one, face YOLOV 8N, and I'm going to copy positive prompt down to there, and the negative, which is no crop, down to there. And now enable. And what a detail is going to do is it's going to detail the face, apparently, so to speak. Same image, but with the additional detailer. Now it's concentrating on the face, see? Oh, has it improved it? I should have kept the other one, shouldn't I? I don't know. Does it look better? He's in a weird stance, though. But if we change... Oh, I've just done photo. So I've just done photo. So let's do photo. And now let's add some stuff like high detail. Let's add all the crap that people like to put in. Masterpiece, DSLR, and then I'm going to pick a Nikon D850. That seems to be the popular one, or the Fujifilm, but I can't remember the brand of that one, the model number. So Nikon D850, and we want a photo realistic. Here we want no crop. We want low quality, medium quality, which I think a lot of these are redundant. Medium quality, what's the other one? Oh, worst quality. They're kind of, you know, if it's AI, it should know what you want from low. You shouldn't need low quality and worst quality, really. Because if it's told not to do low quality, it's sure is not going to say, well, I'll do worst instead then, when you've asked for high detail and a photo. Anyway, so worst quality, and then we want I haven't specified any hands or anything like that, you know, fixing, but it seems to have done a decent job there. So worst quality, cartoon, uh, another one. There's another one that's not coming to mind right now. Too low quality cartoon. Normally you would put like, you know, not too many fingers, not too few fingers, but this render of this soldier seems to be okay. So we'll just add those and see if it makes something a bit more realistic. And just to go with this, we'll go to the Loras. Go to add detail. Okay, cool. Actually not cool because it didn't put it in. Just I clicked it 6 million times. Okay, so Lora add detail. So it's going to just add overall detail, and we'll now copy down here. But even though I'm copying these down to a detailer, for the first render, I'm going to turn it off. So it's not, none of this is going to be used. Go. I've kept the seed, so it should be producing, hopefully, a better version of this image. And it isn't. Same seed, totally different image, and yeah. You do have a huge weapon, don't you? All right, let's go again. I can actually change his pose as well. Cool. Can I do it here, though? Huh. I don't know. Like, he's got this action man kind of pose. What I can't remember is if I can do it straight from this. I think so. If I go into open pose, what would be a pose for a soldier? Hands on hips, I guess. So remember this, he's got meat here as well. So hands on hips would produce a slightly dropped shoulder, right? I mean, I'm only guessing. Unreal 6. Right, so that I think is going to be, so send to text to image. That's not what I want to do though, is it? Surely I just want to save the JSON file. Wait a minute. If you send it to text to image, no, it has to be done with, before we do that, let's just run the same image again, but with the A detailer this time on the face. It is concentrating on the face. There's another one you can set it up. You can do it for hands there. But I found that if you do that, it compromises the first one for some reason. I don't know why. See if you can see the face change in real. He's looking a bit younger there, and he's looking a bit less. He looked a bit more Asian last time. Now, not so much. Okay. Right, let's forget a detail for the moment. Now, I think ControlNet. We have to use open pose, but we don't need a preprocessor because we're already going to have the pose. So if we go open pose here, and I think, do I use ControlNet is more important or balanced? Interesting. Also, I don't think open pose looks like it can send to, it can't send it to ControlNet. So we're going to save it out as a PNG. And now I'm going to go into here. I'm going to load it up. Pretty nice graphics. That's not really. But Now I'm going to leave it balanced for the moment and see what it does. There's no denoise, is there? No. Right, so control type. So we've got ControlNet enabled, and it's using the open pose model, using that drawing with the weights. We want 100% here. So it should now re-render this guy with that pose, right? Right, guys? I don't know. I think so. Is it still a soldier, though? This is a totally different soldier. Oh, okay. So it put him in that position with his hand on hips, and now it's just got him holding the gun in that pose. Okay, that works for me. This, let's just say it's his jacket. I don't know what that is in the background. How about we do something a bit wacky here, guys? Just for fun, before I go back to Comfy. There's other pose apps, which I did show in a previous stream, where you can have these in 3D and rotate it around and stuff. This is kind of flat. But if I save that out as a PNG and overwrite the other one, come back in. I don't know, I've just got his leg in the air. It's probably going to, rather than just have him standing there with his leg in the air like Terminator 2, it's probably going to put his leg on a box or something like that. So if we crash that out and just do drop image, looking for it, there it is. I don't know what the hell it's going to do now. Whether it's going to put his foot on something or make him... He's just going to leave it dangling in the air, really? Yeah, it is. Awesome. Oh, but what if I say foot on box? Oops, box. Foot on box. Just add that to the prompt. Go. Surely it knows to put the box. Come on, AI, be smart. I think it's doing it. We'll see. Isn't AI great? A cardboard box. But look at that. It's just taken this pose that we just did very simply, and bang, I posed the guy. What a poser. That's a weird weapon, but it works. If you want to specify the type of soldier, I guess Russian, American, Korean, whatever. You want to specify those, you can, I'm sure. But it actually knew to put that foot on the box. AI is quite clever. It's clever. But so far, I don't know if you can like do this kind of stuff in ComfyUI, because this is some powerful stuff, and you can add more ControlNet units to do different things. It's so bleeding powerful. And if you had an image here that you wanted to use ControlNet to manipulate your resultant image, and they were of different, like let's say the image here was a different resolution to this one. Maybe one's portrait, one's landscape, or one is 4:3, one's 16:9, blah, blah, blah. Then you could just click on Pixel Perfect and ControlNet will fix all that for you. Now, the other good thing with ControlNet, if we clear everything, just one last thing. Now, because I can't draw for Turkey and because the pen nib is so big, I'm going to try on my own, and then I think somewhere I still have it. If I don't have it, I'll download it. I'll download one. Show you. Can't see it there. I may have actually deleted it. I'm just looking through some images, guys. Yeah, I think Yeah, I deleted it, but let's give it a go. I'm not guaranteeing this is going to work. Get rid of that seed. I'm going to make no guarantees here. So we're going to change the model to Scribble. I think Scribble? The hell? Do I have to do it here with a preprocessor? This isn't right then. Nope. This isn't right because I need a canvas. So it must be, is it image to image that does it? Or is it in Paint? We've got Sketch, but Sketch isn't what I'm after really. No, it's no. We do not want to drop an image. Oh, okay. The bell has rang, the clouds have cleared. Right. So what we do is we click on this and create a new canvas. And we want 512 by 512. Let's go 768 by 768. Make it square on this one. I would love to have this bigger. Let's see if we can shrink this down to the smallest point. Ooh, that is way too small. I can't draw, guys, and especially in a canvas this size. What the fleek? There is an app or an extension you can add on to this, which you can use to extract this to full screen and blah blah blah. This is going to be really bad, but here we go. This is when you need a freaking what do you call those things with a pen? Pad, those pad things, a drawing pad thing. It's supposed to be a fish. Give me a break. This is ridiculous. It's I can't control the mouse. So all I've got to do here is just say fish. And I'm expecting it to draw one that looks like this. That would be bad. Let's match the canvas size. Come on. That's so bad. I'm going to have to download some art of my own. Well, off Google anyway. Not my own art is no good, but if I download some art. See, not even close. Not even close. So let's set it to ControlNet is more important. Yeah, very nice. Thanks. Generate again. He's a fat. It's a June navigator. Oh, the guy? Yeah. Right, this is a bit more close to what mine was. I forgot to put the fin on the top as well. This will do line drawings or scribbles that are, because you've got Sketch as well, which is, I think, a little bit similar. It did a lot better job than what mine was, and we nearly found Nemo there. So if we go into goggles here, if I go to GI and I just go to Simple Sketch, and we look for something that is a sketch of something, but like this is a slice of pizza, UFO, that would actually be a kind of cool one, but oh, okay, this one, right. So it's a horse, its back legs are right out there, and he's looking at us. Okay. Save image, and we'll just call it how to draw a horse. That's what it's called. Cool. Let's see if we can load that up here in ControlNet. Let's go to desktop because that's where it's saved. How to draw a horse. And I can't put fish now. Horse. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. But it should draw, it should render the horse, and it should kind of look like that sketch. Yeah, man. See the back legs out and the tail down. Oh, yes. Come on, baby. Now, what I could have specified was that I wanted a photo of a horse, not some kind of artistic illustration. There you go. So you can have like your kids just sketch something fairly decent, pop it into ControlNet, and it'll actually do a more real version. So if I said photo, but not only that, professional photo. Now I don't know any particular animal photographers, so I can't specify artist names here, but let's regenerate that again. But the thing here is as well, these are features, these are things I can do here in Automatic 1111 that I cannot do in ComfyUI yet. I know ComfyUI has got a lot of power to do stuff, especially with the nodes. You've got so much control when you're using nodes. But yeah. So it's kind of put the tail over there. We'd need to do a few images. I could have specified a background like in a horse in a field, but you can clearly see it's based on that sketch. No two ways about it. Come on. I'm going to try this one and then we'll switch back over. Save link. Oh, no, don't want to save a link, do we? It was a chain maybe, but save link. So that is, let's just call it Peng. I think that went onto my desktop. What if you upload a picture of a penguin on the sketch and then in the prompt you put a horse? How is that going to work? And how is it going to do a professional photo from this? Well, I guess the only way to find out is to ask it to do it. No, because it's going to be like from Pixar or something. Yeah. You can't do a photo of a penguin like this because penguins don't actually really look like this. It doesn't have the other leg or foot here on this side. Oh, this is its foot there. I don't think the AI has realized that, so it's gotten away with it by burying it in the snow. And it's got a weird flipper thing coming out here. But look at that face. We could generate, obviously, 4 images of this until it produces one that doesn't look a bit weird. Isn't this cool, though? I could easily just, up here, just specify a cartoon or like in the style of Pixar or something like that. It's not going to realize that this down here is its other foot. I don't think it's ever going to realize that. Penguin walking in the snow. Now let's just say penguin walking in the snow, right? And then just put in the style of Pixar. Right, so there's the sketch. Oh, I forgot to invert. Oops, my bad. Yes, the image has to be black on white, so I should have set it to invert. This is what the image should be. If you've got a white background with black pen, you have to use the invert preprocessor. Anyway, let's do, now that we've got that set, let's generate the penguin walking in the snow in the style of Pixar. I was hoping that using walking in the snow would make it realize that this was its left foot, but I don't know. Is this Pixar, guys? Spaceship interiors. Yeah. They'd have to hire me first. You know, if the AI knew what Elite Dangerous was, it could probably... Let's have a play with that. Yeah. I don't think it knows what it was, to be honest. Right, so this is what the AI should be working off of. Has he got a little furry hat on? It's definitely Pixar-ish, isn't it? And all that from a drawing that, or a sketch that somebody made. But yeah, you do need to invert. It has to be white on black. Yeah, white. As if it's like a blackboard. Like you've chalked it on a blackboard. That's what it has to be. But the horse still came out okay. Even though I didn't invert. Now, I don't know whether... I don't know if it knows. Let's have a look. ASP. No way. I mean, just no way. ASP Explorer. And then I'm just going to put Elite Dangerous. Oh, no, I'm actually going to tell it. From the game, Elite Dangerous. Okay. So, we need to obviously not make the ASP Explorer. If it's even going to do one, it can't look like a penguin. So that has to go. So we've disabled that. There's nothing else running here. Seed is on -1. Put the batch. I don't think it's going to do it. ASP Explorer. Spaceship from the game Elite Dangerous. I'm going to just say no chance. No way it does this. It can do stuff like from movies, but a specific niche game like Elite Dangerous, I don't think so. No, no, no. Not gonna happen, buddy. Not even close. Oh, I can do a ship interior or the bridge of a ship, but it won't necessarily match what the Anaconda would be or any such thing like that. It clearly hasn't got a clue what an ASP Explorer spaceship is. I mean, that's more crate, if anything. But no, 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 not at all. So let me take out from the game, and I'm just going to put Elite Dangerous. There's no way it can know this. It will know things. I would think it would know stuff like the Starship Enterprise and stuff like that. That's a massive franchise, and it would know that. It looks better than the actual ASP. Well, there's a lot of ships in Elite Dangerous that look better than the ASP. And we could also add the add detailer on this as well. Yeah, this is not good. However, if I was to suggest TIE Fighter, Star Wars, maybe, right? I mean, is there a bigger franchise than Star Wars, Star Trek, Star Wars? They're huge. It's not going to show me two ties in a tailor shop having a fight, surely. Well, something's brewing. I don't know if it's a TIE Fighter, but something's brewing. No. It's got the idea, but no. Definitely not. It's certainly a variation on a theme. No question about that. But no. So it's kind of like, well, it's almost as if it has a very vague memory. I guess we should you can maybe use different models here. Like perhaps Cyber Realistic would do a better job. Quickly try it, I guess. Oh, Babylon 5. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched that. Let's try with this and see what happens. TIE Fighter should be, it's an abbreviation, isn't it? So it should be capitalized, although I don't think it makes any difference. TIE, the Imperial Eagle. Okay, so Cyber Realistic, same thing, same prompt. Goo goo. And I might want to add this back in as well at some. Nothing I change now is affecting this. This is already on the road doing its stuff. Oh, okay. Well, you can see how it's closer, but it's completely different. I mean, it's thereabouts, but needs some work. I tell you what I do have though. I have Loras, which those little trained prompts. Loras which can do people in all the different Star Trek uniforms. You know, so you could do a guy in a Star Trek uniform that looks kind of like you but doesn't have your face but just got similar hair, and then you can replace your face with that, and then boom, that you got a picture of yourself in a Star Trek uniform. I'm gonna render one more. So yeah, I've got all that. Got that recently. I'm not sure if I've actually. Oh yeah, I have. I have passed them over to here. Yeah. Oh my god, what is this? Made of like big thick pieces of wood? It's creative. It's like it's an alternative universe, Star Wars. Oh. That's with the VAE added and the add detail. I think it's just gone a little bit too far. Now, do we have this as a Lora? I don't know. So TNG, Star Trek TNG. Right, so Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So TNG, yeah, the original series. So we got TNG, there we go. So, photo of a man on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. And I'm going to put TNG there just to see if we can get NCC 1701D. And then we've got the Lora for TNG here with TNG2, which is to hopefully give him a next generation suit. Negative prompts for people. Oh, we go with that one. Go. I'm expecting, oh, bumhole. Spelled Starship wrong. It shouldn't really matter. There we go. And I spelt photo wrong as well. But thankfully the AI is also pretty clever at spotting typos and saying, yeah, I know what he wants. So if Sulu and Riker had a baby. Right, now you see how the face is all blah, 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 blah. So if we'd go back into a detailer now and enable and copy the prompt. I don't think we need the full negative prompt, but I will. And the reason we've got the dark lighting as well is because I don't know. It could be this VAE here, maybe. So now we're going to just fix the face, basically. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So if the face looks a bit naff, we're going to fix it. Let's see what it does to it, to the face. Oh, he's aged a bit. Here we go. Sorting it. Is it making it better? Better, better, better? You look at the face there. I'm expecting better results on that. Dear. Well, he's got the uniform. Shiny skin, though. Is that just because of the lighting on the bridge that it wants to do it that way? And it does look like the 1701D's desk area there. It looks like it. Just did good lighting. Trying to think if there's I don't know why the lighting is fairly dark. I know it's out in space and the bridge isn't exactly the most. It's fairly well lit though, to be honest. And we don't have what I would call photorealism here either. I would probably use a different model for that. Wow, these are very, very identical. I'm not into the lighting at all. Yeah. So. Oh, and I think you can specify the colors as well. If I put yellow here, I think it changes to the different. Yeah, I think it's a trigger word for the uniform color. So we got like a Miles O'Brien type of dude, right? Yeah, there you go. So you can actually use a color as a trigger word for the color of the suit you want. And then obviously there's blue as well. So blue, red, and yellow, right? And then you've got the other TNG uniform, which like the captain has with the ribbed top part. Oh, what's it doing with the faces, man? I think we just need to use a different... yeah, this is shite. So epic realism would be fine, and realistic vision 4 would be fine. But let's go back to photon for now. I want to see what kind of image it produces. Gonna keep everything as it is. I don't know what the difference is here between face 8N and 8S. Don't know. Maybe the S is for sport. Sweat like hell on the ships. Yeah. Seems they are. Let's see if this one can produce a better face. Something a bit more realistic. Dear. I know we're in space and shadows are always like hard. You don't get, but we are inside as well. It's not natural light. Who's this guy? Is he in 10 forward? I'm sure we could get the correct, like the lighting on the bridge. I'm sure we could get it correct. Let's take him outside of the bridge. Photo of a man on photo of a man. That's it. Photo of a man. Nope, that's not going to be it. Photo of a man on planet surface. That's it. I want to see if it gets rid of that overbright look, that too contrasty look. That's not on a planet surface. Doodles, that's not on a planet surface. Wow, that's kind of blown it out. Okay, and we're going to get rid of this. I think it's got something to do with this TNG Lora thing then. Because I think if I remove the uniform, we might get a proper image. Because Photon produces better than this. Much better. So now they're out exploring. Beam me up, Scotty. Wow. Contrast is like just crazy. There's nothing else set here, right? That we've got set. ControlNet. Not doing anything, surely. Nope. Nope. All right. Let's remove the TNG and see if it just fixes everything. Now he's not even a tricky guy. Now he's just a dude on a planet. Oh God, it couldn't be more different. That's because it doesn't have to show the uniform anymore. Raymond Reddington, great. Yeah, Earth is that close, right? It might not be Earth. It doesn't have to be Earth. This is like an Elite Dangerous shot, isn't it? You've got your Maverick suit on, and you've got a planet, you know, close by coming up. SRV in the background. I've taken screenshots like that in Elite Dangerous. Very much. Yeah. Actually, I didn't take the TNG out of here. Okay. So, meanwhile, back on Comfy, it says reconnecting. It's waiting to connect back into Comfy. So we can arrange that to happen, I think. just fire up the engine. So comfy blah. Where are you? Have I gone past? Yep, there it is. Okay, it's running like hell. Okay. So if you want to run this, you have to install Python version. You have to go to the website and install Python and go to an earlier version. You need 3.10.6 and you install that. And then you go and look for ComfyUI. I've got the portable version, and then I think you just need to extract that into a folder and put one of your checkpoints, your AI models, which you can get from. I'll do a video. I'll do a video on it, on how to put this in. If you guys want one. Right. So we are using Photon here, and I don't actually need this. I just put this in as a test because if I remove this, going into the positive, right? There you go. So rather than have this cable just dangling like that, I just added a. Can you add one just like in here? Yeah. So I think it was. I don't know what it came under now. Ah, here, reroute. It's just a reroute, and then you can route it straight into to go. But this way you can keep your cables a bit more tidier. You know what I mean? So it's down there. It's the same thing. It's just that it's just tidy. And you can do that with more if you want to, if you have a bit of OCD that you need to fulfill. I'm okay on this, as long as it doesn't get too messy. I like it a little bit tidier. So I like to try with just like very, very simple prompts. We go, I believe, it won't give me 910, will it? So let's just, I want to see if it's going to put fish in there as well. We won't need this prompt. Maybe not this bit. We'll leave it in anyway. As long as it doesn't start putting clothes on the fish. Because naked fish are alright. Don't mind fish. Oh, so now we're going to have to wait a minute for it to to load all this in. You can see it all happening on the screen right here. So this is what it has to do when it loads the AI model for the first time, and there's the image on its way. Jesus, that's pretty damn good just for a 12-step image. And now we can see here the sampler advanced working away to get the next one. Damn. See, sometimes I like to just, like, this is realism, right? You could just say, well, it could have got that image off Google. That's not how it works. It doesn't do it that way. It is actually generated in real time, but I like to do something like prompt it with something that it couldn't possibly get from anywhere else. You know, Something maybe even if you have to go into the realms of Bizarro World. Starships, I've got aircon. Yeah, it's broken on that one. That's why they've got a Mayday going out. So it's just doing the decode now. That's lit up, and then suddenly, bang, we'll get the final preview at twice the size. Now, is it me or is this a bit more colorful? See this yellowy bit of coral here? That's kind of got a bit more, I don't know. It's a bit more bleached and it doesn't look quite as colorful. It's a bloody good image, don't get me wrong. But it looks a bit less saturated. Yeah. Yeah, this one has a bit more color in it. I wonder if we can tell it to not mess with that too much. I wonder what it would be here. Like if we change that to disable, I don't know what the difference is. And then just change the seed to fixed. Not going to change now, is it? If I hit Q prompt, that number I'm hoping is going to stay. Yes. So it should generate the same again, but this time with the add noise disabled. Okay, forget that. Forget that. It's a whole different image. This is actually a better image as well. I kind of like this one. There's more variation. And if you were to generate this at my native resolution, then I'd have a nice wallpaper. But I don't use them. I like dark wallpapers. I find light-colored wallpapers to be too off-putting. They're distracting. So they have to be dark. If I'm going to have a wallpaper, it has to be really dark or something that is just not going to stick in my peripheral vision all the time. Anyway, let's see what this does. Is it going to desaturate this first image or not? What will the add noise have done or not done? And are there any nodes where we can correct? Holy crumbs alone. Well, yeah, okay. It looks like it just didn't do anything. Didn't render any steps or anything. So yeah, we need that enabled. Holy hell, what a difference. That's no good. It's like, yeah, here's a basic image. I'm not doing any more. No. That's no good. All right. So do we have any nodes that can mess with the image? So we've got upscaling, post-processing, image sharpen, image quantize, image blur, and image blend. So is this for blending two images together, maybe? Now, if I don't know where this goes. If I pull out this image here, VAE decode. So it goes before the decode and after the image. We can add an image sharpener to both images, but sigma alpha, I just wouldn't have a clue. So we can disconnect that, pop this down here, and we need to uncollapse that, and then take the image input or output to this input, and then this one into there. See, with the default settings, it might just be these both set to 1. That might be too much, it might be too little. Is it even needed? Do we really need an image sharpener? It'd be interesting to see what it's going to do with it. What else have we got? Mask, advanced, and there's obviously well, I say obviously, it's not obvious, but there are a lot of nodes that have been made by users, third parties, loads of them apparently, and there's new ones coming out every single day. I haven't looked at any, tested any, don't know where to find any, but one day I'm sure I'll check them out. I don't know what these are. Checkpoint save. There's lots of stuff here. Yeah, I think there's one where you add it and it's called custom. You have a custom here and then you can just, loads that you've downloaded. I'll have to have a look. So now this is going to double size the image and then sharpen. I don't know. Might be too much. It's going for the decode. Let's see how long it takes on here, because this will be the next box to light up. But for how long? There we go. Oh, that didn't take long at all. Oh, over sharp. Okay. Yeah, that's too much. And with Coral, you notice it. That's way too much. Holy crap. So you would need to bring this down. 0.3 perhaps on these. But as I don't know what the hell I'm doing with that, we're just going to ditch it. I don't know. That would be something I'd need to play with and then decide when I would and wouldn't need to use that. So, okay. What else do we have? There's so many. Groups, add a group. Don't need another sampler. Add a Lora. I can do that. Right, let me go to the place, if I know where it is, and see if I can take some of the Loras from, or all of the Loras actually, because they're not too big. I don't think. Are they? Ah, okay. 8 gigabytes. Well, let me just take a few. So, add detail. Blurry light is a good one sometimes. I've got one for The Simpsons, where it makes people look like the cartoon Simpsons characters. That one. That one would be cool. That one would be very cool. That one would be necessary. That one. That'll do. We'll take those. See if there's a folder inside of Comfy to put these. So we've got Comfy models, Loras. There we go. And paste. Done. So the question is, are they already going to be here? Okay, what if I add that particular node again? Let's add it here, Lora. And it goes. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, I got you. So you can have the Lora, the add detail Lora, on one image but not the other. And again, you can just use comparisons that way. So we know that it's going from the model, or to the model, from the checkpoint load, so from this. So where is this plugging in? This is plugging in over here before the sampler. So we can plug it in right there. So if I unplug that, and did I unplug it? Oh, shoot. Did I just do something I shouldn't have done? I've got two outputs from there to there. Oh, I don't think I did. Okay. Right, so we can unplug that and plug it into there. And then take that, plug that into there. And then I think if I press Alt and slide this down, we get another one. And I want to unplug this cable, plug it into there. Is that right? It's before this. Yeah. If I unplug this and it says case sampler, yes, cool. So, and now this goes to there. But wait though. That means we've got to load. Oh, hold on a minute. We've got two Lora loaders here. Right? But I want them both to have the same Lora name. So we right click and convert Lora name to input. And then we right click, convert Lora name to input. And then we go right here. Oh, double click here. Can we just do a text? Oh, how's that? Not going to work, is it? I wanted a Lora box where I could choose the name and output it to both of these at the same time. So I don't have to have the same one on both. Okay. So I don't have to, select the same one on both. It's not going to do that. So convert Lora name back to widget. And I think I'm just going to have to refresh. And if it doesn't load them, yay, cool. All right. But that means, actually, it means I can load two different Loras though, but okay, so we've got forest background on that one, and I want to choose the same on this one. All right, so it's a Lora that's been trained to produce an image with a forest background. So I don't need to specify it here. So I can just say photo of a man standing outside. That's it. And then oh, clip. Okay. Yep. No problem. I say that, but I guess the clip has to come from here. So we've got a third cable coming out and a fourth cable coming out. This is some messy cabling. And this has to output to wait, there's another one? No, that's exactly the same. No point doing that. Where the hell does the output go? So you can have it on reroute, clip text encode. Oh, of course. You need text, right? Because you need to tell it how much. No, you don't, because that's done here. Okay, I'm going to leave it out and see if it renders it. Okay, so there's a clip input, but there's no output. Yeah, it works. It's done the forest background. Cool, it did it. It still works. Don't need the clip. And now this is getting more complex. I'm going to save this out as Rusty 2. dot JSON and the Argonauts. I'm going to put that into my documents ComfyUI folder that I created. Save it in there. Yeah, it does work. It's made it very contrasty though. Like he's pretty much in the shadows there. I think these are the kind of Loras, like a forest background, you can just leave it at 1. Because if you put it at 0.5, what are you suggesting? That you only half want a forest? I just not really sure. It's the first time I've added my own nodes and something's worked. There you go. So if I, okay, so we do have, this is 9, oh, okay. See why it was using a weird resolution there. So photo of a man. So we're going to just add one word here, which is going to be portrait. That portrait should produce a close-up image. Like face and shoulders, maybe half the body, something like that. And no forest. Definitely no forest there. A tree, yeah, that doesn't count. Was this just a fluke then? Oh boy. Where the hell would you plug this clip to? Clip is like this, text and stuff, right? This is, I mean, no, it hasn't worked. How else would I test this? Blurry light, maybe. Blurry light, we'll switch it to blurry light and render. If it puts any blurry lights in the background. Of course, you won't get the forest. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. So, it's got to be to do with this clip. But if I output it there, I can only send it to clip set last layer. Stop at, oh, okay, that's okay. That's not what I want though. Because the output of that is also a clip. Wait a minute though. I think I might have an idea. Is it coming out of here through the Lora, and then this clip is returning back into the prompt? And is it would it only be the positive prompt and not the negative? Yes. Loras go in positive prompts. And you have to add it to that prompt. So yeah, it would go there. There you go. And this one, I guess we can plug that into the positive prompt as well. And now these cables are just getting crazy. Oh, we're only allowed one. Yeah, actually they're both the same, so it makes no damn difference which one we use. Or does it? Yes, I think it might, because it might mean that one image will work and one won't. Let's run it, see what happens. Oops, I think I've run 2. Yeah, that's right. So there's the blurry light in the background. I've got a feeling when are we? No, wait, it's fine. Right? Because if this one obeys the Lora, like say with the forest in the background, this is just a refinement of that. No, isn't it? Wouldn't this just be a refinement of this one? What if I put a forest on this one, but not on the other? Right, because the only one, we've got a blurry light here that's going into the prompt. So the forest background would be completely ignored. I don't need this. Right? Actually, I do. I need it to go into... No, I might be able to get away with just the one thinking about this. Let's get rid of this. So, this one is all plugged in, but it's only going to this one, which is producing this image. It's not going to this one. However, if I can take another cable out of this one, also to here, without destroying the other cable, bingo. Now this is plugged into both samplers, and it's going into the prompt, which is going also into the sampler. Kaboom boom, we're done. So if I change it now to forest background, guys. Oh no! What the hell? Do I have to reboot the engine? Maybe that's... I don't have this right. I shouldn't have to specify forest because the Lora should do that for me. Do I then... Surely having this here though, I wonder... I see I'm of the mind that having this as a box means I don't have to specify it here in the prompt. However, that might not be the case. I mean, surely the name of the prompt is being outputted, the name of the Lora, sorry, is being outputted as a clip over to the prompt, and it gets added into the prompt in the background. And then that goes to the positive there, and then gets decoded. Okay. Let's switch it back to blurry light. Go again. If it puts blurry lights in the background of this next image, it's definitely working. It's just, oh, there's that dude again. All right. So the strength of the clip is going to be 0.7. That's the strength of the prompt. The model strength, I'm going to leave that as 1 because I don't know any other way. And just cue it again. It should still have blurry light, but we should get a different image. There we go. Oh, the seed is fixed. Damn you. Not helping. Hello, Aquatic. How you doing, sir? Welcome to this live stream. I'm just experimenting at the moment, carrying out prompt experiments. So, can I now say that the forest will work? Come on. That's a no. What is going on with that forest? Okay. Another way we can test this is this one. Photo of a cube. Okay, so I want to see what the cube is. And if you didn't want the Lora to work, how would you get rid of it? Like, there's no none here. So I'm just wondering whether you'd use a strength of 0.0. Let's just run this cube. I have a particular Lora which should completely change how the cube looks. Okay, that's the one it's decided to do today. This is comfy, yeah, it is. And it is quite comfy. I created this from scratch today, but I did it with the help of a tutorial. And I'm not even using SDXL. I'm just using my normal AI models. Okay, so that's kind of cool, very nice, very cute, very pretty. But I want to change this now to Honeytech. So now it should make the cube look like honey and what do you call those things in the hive, like the hexagon shaped things. Yeah, those. Anything at all. Nope. Nope, nope. So this thing's not working. Does it light up at all? If we go into view queue and we can cancel. Okay. I want to see if the Lora lights up. Ah, it doesn't. Right, this is not lighting up at all. Do. Why not? Loras get put in the positives, right? So if we know that the checkpoint comes before it, we know the model must get plugged in. And then this model would go to these two, right? For sampling. And the clip goes into there, gets added, and then comes out to go into these as sample. I don't know. It's not doing the Honeytech thing, that's for 100% sure. Let's go 1.2. If this isn't all orangey and honey looking, then it's not working. Weird. I mean, I've only guessed how to do this, but I know that when I type in a Lora, it's always here, up here. But surely I don't have to actually type it in the prompt now, because that's what this clip out is for, to pop it in there, right? Or, no, it can't be. Hold on. Let's double click here. Let's clip. Oh, it could be any of these, couldn't it? So it could be text, and then you would send that to what? To the positive prompts of both? This is getting... No, that's for Excel. We don't want that. Clip vision loader. No. Dual clip loader? The hell's that? Okay. I'm lost. I don't know how to add the Lora into this workflow and make it work. Yeah, it's just node-based Aquatic. It's very similar to Lightwave. Lightwave works very similar to this. It's it looks exactly the same actually. Okay, so I know it's not this. No, it's not that. What's this glimpy thing? Where's that gone? This clip. Oop, different colors, different color inputs and outputs. It won't be that. So the output from the clip can go to, what's this? Conditioning. Oh, this is even worse. Width, height, no. Where else can it go? Reroute. But that's just a box. That would apply to any output, surely. But, yeah, okay, so it's not that. It's not lower loader because that's another one. So it has to be this text encode. But why would I type it in here to send it to both samplers? There's no point when I can just. All right, let's unclip. Hey, wait a minute. No, this is fine. Yeah, okay. Let's unclip this cable. Which means that this has to go back up to there. And we're just running it through the model. Come on. Now, it's Lora. I'm trying to guess what the format is here. So it's Honeytech-20. Or do I have to? Oh yeah, whoa, hold on. Can we do? No, I haven't. It might be a trigger word that I'm missing. I think it's the trigger word. Let's take this. Okay, shrinky. Take the clip down to the Lora and move the clip up back into here. But we need the keyword, the trigger word, which in this case is honey. I think would work on its own. But we'll do Honeytech -20. Let's see if that works. Some of these Loras need trigger words. Talk to me. Yes! That's what it was. It needed the trigger word. Yes. That's all it was. The Honeytech trigger word for this Lora. The Honeytech was the trigger word for this Lora. Yes, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So, if we go back to the forest background, the trigger word for that will be, I need to do it on another browser because otherwise I'm going to be going to a website which I have got the not safe for work images set off. So I'm not going to put that on yet. So we're looking at forest background. No, not background. Background. Forest background. Okay. Taken. Oh, no results found. I'm not buying into that one, son. Forest. Results. What's happening with the search on this website? It's all a little bit different. Okay, right, we'll just take a guess then. So instead of the Honeytech, so it's forest background underscore V1. Normally if you can type, like with the Honeycube, you can just use the word honey or the actual name of the Lora. So this one was what? Forest background underscore V1. So we'll use that. As the keyword, which matches the name, oh buggeration, which matches the name of the Lora here, forest background V1 underscore V1. And the clip strength, it doesn't need to be 1.2, when 1 will suffice. And photo of a man outside. And that outside better be a damn forest. In the end. Yes, sir. So that forest that we got the first time round must have been a complete freakish coincidence. So let's get the double-sized, more advanced version up and running. There it is. Cool. Now the guy there, I preferred this dude with a cap on. Spell this. Yeah, let's put a fish on his head. Khaki clothes and a baseball cap. Go. I'll get a completely different image than before, though. Yep. Before I was able to get over to the preview image, it already had rendered the damn thing. Yeah, so the Loras are working now. It's just a case of adding in the trigger words, because we're not adding the actual Lora itself in the brackets like you would in Automatic 1111. So you need the trigger word. Some Loras don't have trigger words though, so I don't know how we're going to get around that. I think just have to specify the Lora name in the prompt anyway. So there you go, guy in the forest. He's not really got khaki clothes on, not really. They're kind of just green, but he does have the baseball cap. And it is definitely a forest. Now, here's a one. Adding, this is going to be a killer for cables, adding 2 Loras. Like, what if I want the honey one as well as the forest background? I'd have to add another one of these, right? But then I think I would just bring the outputs of this one over to this one. And then wherever these outputs are going would be where this one's going to go, right? But then what happens, then it would do the, as long as I put both trigger words up into the positive prompt, it would work. However, what if I then change my mind and decide I only want to use one on the next render? It would be hard to just take this one out of the loop. And there's no none here. There should be a none. See, and there just isn't. Or if we go all the way back, is there? There isn't. There's no none here. The only way you could get around it is to change these numbers to 0. Well, I've got this saved, so this is going and clipping into both models, right? But wait a minute. Yes, because the model's coming off this checkpoint. Okay, so flip this, put it into there. And same with this one. This one we can just wipe out. Take this clip, drop it into there. Right? So now, I don't think we can have blurry lights and forest background, but I can certainly do Honeytech. That would be weird, but okay. And then the clip. Come on now. So the clip would then go through here, right? Oh dear. Now I'm hoping it's going to use both. And the model would be plugged into this sampler. This one. So Honeytech -20 and a forest background. So photo of a cube. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It'd probably work with a guy as well. Photo of a cube outside. So let's get rid of the baseball cap because that would be weird. And we want the other keyword now. Oh, wait a minute. To have the other Lora not working, if we don't want it, we just remove the trigger word from the prompt here. Duh. So forest background underscore V1 and Honeytech -20, correct? Right. So if we don't want Honeytech to work, we just don't use the prompt up here. Just don't use it. And then this information should flow through here and out. So are we going to get a Honeytech cube in a forest? Allows you to do more. I don't know. With ControlNet and all those other extensions in Automatic 1111, there is a lot you can do in Automatic 1111. What this allows you to do, though, is just have control with nodes and stuff. And so in certain ways, yes, it does allow more things, but there are things in Automatic 1111 that this can't do yet, I don't think. I mean, how do you load in things like ControlNet or Roop to do poses and replace faces and sketches and scribbles? How would you even do that on this? I'm a bit surprised that the cube is floating, but nevertheless, it's a honey cube and it has a forest background. So they both did work. And the way to just cancel one is to just not use the prompt. If I took out the forest background prompt, here, we'd just get the cube. Even though the Lora is active, the forest background is active. I'm going to say that this image now will not have a forest background, but it will still have a honey cube. There you go. Hardly a cube. And then you just want to pipe it back in if you want both. So now on any image, I can have two Loras running. So what I'm going to do is right click on this one, change it to load Lora 1 and load Lora 2. There we go. Okay, Zonta. Make sure they're a cut above the rest. Oh boy. My time is limited. So, if we remove these completely, and we just say photo of a cube outside, there should be no honey cubes and no forest. That's a coincidence. It's not a forest. What is it, part of a house now? I'll tell you what, wait a minute, go back. There's traces of honey there. Isn't there? Oh, right. Because it's affecting the model. Oh, okay, I understand. So by removing it from the prompt, all we've done is effectively said strength clip 0, but not model. This we'd have to change to 0. So that it can't affect the model either. Now, it should be completely Lora-less. There you go. And therefore that means if I wanted to keep the prompt in, I can. But if I change the strength clip to 0, then it will read those words, but it will say, how much strength of these do you want applied? And you say 0. So it will completely ignore it. And if we run it again, it should be complete ignorance. That's not a cube. It's not honey based, but there is. Okay. Is that just, oh, it's got me wondering now whether that is just purely coincidence that it's got a forest in the background. I think it is coincidence because that's not, it's more of a woods. Let's go again. Yeah, I think outside it's just generating. So if I say outside city, right? Let's cancel the one that's running. Oh, gee. So there can't be any influence on these. If everything's set to 0, maybe it's still, yeah. It's obviously still reading the word forest in the prompt. It's still doing something with that word forest. Okay. Well, it's all a little bit complex, but if you want to run the two Loras or one Lora, you can plug one in, switch these on by putting these to 1 and adding the trigger word into the prompt. It's a little bit more work than automatic 1111, but it will get you the results you want. And this way we've got a double Lora. which is awesome. And there's many more you can do. I've got many more Loras, which I only passed a few over. So this Concept WB is for wide body cars. We've got a large window there, which we can try. So if we say photo of a woman in a room. How did I get that? Start again. I nearly typed womb there. W-O-M-B. That'd be weird. Right. Can you imagine that? Having the AI do a woman inside a womb. Oh, it's already done the window. That's cheating. You weren't supposed to render a window. That was what I was going to do and tell you to do later. Do another one. Cheat. No window this time. Oh, man. Do another one. All right, we're going to have to remove black and white from the list of possibilities here. So, comma, BW, comma, B and W, and comma, black and white. That should be enough. Why are you insistent on the window now? You weren't before. That'll do. We'll hold that one. So let's change the random seed to fixed. And I want to choose a large window. Set this to 1. And set this to 1. Nothing here. And it's large window 05. That will be the keyword. Bingo. Yeah, I think that's right. So it should render the same image again. Hopefully with a large window, maybe. The same image. I wanted the same image. Dude. Well, I got my large window, but that's not what I was expecting. The whole point of keeping the seed is at least to try and, you know, keep the same image. We certainly got the large window. And a woman who seemingly is in need of a sandwich. In fact, that is a really if you then reduce the strength down to say 0.7, do we get a smaller window? Let's reduce it to 0.6 on both. I also take requests if you guys want to see this thing render something specific. Yeah, it's kind of it's a throw of the dice, isn't it? Really, it seems to be pretty well set on having a woman with her back to us, looking out of a window with a very short skirt on. So I'm going to change this to portrait. Now what you're going to do? What kind of mutation is this? Does that work? Cancel. Let's move on to something else. Right, so let's get rid of these Loras by zeroing this out. And up here, photo, horror, blood, gore, oops, gore, vampire, demon, and nightmare. I'll leave it to you. Right. Oh, did I specify that I wanted it? Well, I did say photo, but not so much a vampire, though. I mean, his fangs are not really. This is probably not the best AI model to be doing this with. There are other ones which we can switch to. Let's cancel this one. Oh, don't need to. Do you know this man? So if we switch this over to, I would say Dream Shaper maybe? Oh, there's actually one there called, oh no, Dimension Twist. I did get something that was, I think it might have been a Lora, to be honest, which was for demons. Especially to do demons. I was trying out some zombies and things like that before. So this is going to take a bit longer because it has to load in the new thing. Oh, have you guys had this there all that time? Bollocks. I didn't know the window was there. And I don't think... Is anybody here? That window wasn't meant to be there all this time. So, another ruined portion. Yeah, this one definitely gave a better result. Same kind of idea though. The goth guy with the long black hair. AI's got the same idea, even though the AI model is completely different, it still gave us the same. Yeah. It could be the same dude in a different. Is it trying to work off the Twilight movies? I haven't seen them anyway. Perhaps I shouldn't have specified vampire and demon. I'm gonna go, height would be, I don't have to do 720 or not. Guess we can. It's rendering fairly quickly, so I don't mind upping the stakes a little, said the butcher. Now then, oh, D-Moon. Please render D-Moon in the background. So, zombie in a swamp. Go. Can I get over there in time? Just about. Yeah, and now because I've gone widescreen, it's managed to put two of them in. Quite an eerie looking image. And now this is going to be double the size, which means it's going to be 2K. Oh, maybe I went a bit too big there. I do, yeah, like I said, I do have a Lora, or I've got a textual inversion, I think it is, for demons. Is there such a thing here? Okay. Image invert. But mask, no. There's lots of different nodes you can add here, but latent, rotate, flip, and crop. Ooh, ControlNet. Dudes. No way. Yeah, I don't have all the control nets in the folder either. And what was the other one? And where does this output to? ControlNet apply, okay. There's one. So we need conditioning, that's from the prompt. That's an image input, and that goes out from the prompt to wherever that, into the sampler then. Into there. So we can, okay. But if we have ControlNet sketch, then it would work the sketch from the image input as well. And also the pose. Interesting. Oh man, I've got to see if we're going to get ControlNet inside this. Because that is going to be neat. There you go. I don't know what, I've seen this before where it puts these round things on the heads, but I don't know what they're supposed to be. I'll save that one out. Oh, so ControlNet is actually on here. That's great, because that's going to give it a lot more power. But look at this, guys. If I go and save this workspace out, all right, so I'm going to call it Rusty3 to Lora. I'll know what that means. .json. And I drop it out into my documents folder. Now, if we were to get rid of all of this and replace it with a new one, let's clear the workspace first. And load. So documents. Now this is one that's been created by somebody else. Locating the folder. Now I'm not saying there's a lot of complications going on here, but there kind of is. You've got a positive prompt, a negative prompt, and then you have a positive left, a positive right, a negative left, and a negative right. What do those do, you ask? Don't know. There are additional prompts. So you've got female cyborg, chrome, LED eye, perfect face in the style of Charlie Bowater. Don't know who that is. Alejandro Bodicio. I've never heard of him either. Intense. And then you've got detailed photo. So this is the type of shot you want. Detailed photo, wide angle shot, realistic. So this is the subject and this is the environment, I guess. And that gets plugged into left and right. And then you've got, there must be another left and right over here somewhere. These two, I guess. But 2 checkpoints. This is using the new Stable Diffusion XL base with the refiner. So what's going on here then? This preview image, is it refined or without? And then so you've got a save image for normal and a save image that's been upscaled. And this is being upscaled by there's the refiner. Upscale, it's using this. I haven't got this. So good luck with that. I don't have this file either. So good luck with that one. If I click on just go, it's not going to do anything. It's going to say, hey, you haven't got these. See what happens. Okay, it just says in the thing it's going to be ignored. Output will be ignored. But the preview image, I don't know if it's the refined image or the base image. Oh boy. The way that this is grouped, it hides all the cables. So I don't know what the hell is even going where. It's not using ControlNet either, so that's not in. You do need 2 checkpoints for SDXL because it does have the both. Holy crap, I've just realized it renders natively at 4,000. Stop, cancel. Please cancel. But wait a minute, you're rendering at 4 and then you're upscaling on top of that? Dude, I don't have a 4090 graphics card here. This is off the wall. And the other thing here is, if these both are, this is a bad way to do it as well from what I can see. If both these encoders here are meant to be the same, which if one is for the base and one's for the refiner, they should be the same. And then here as well. Why would you have, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inputs, you only need 2. You need a width and a height. Oh, what's going on here? I'm trying to work this out. You've got the image size here is 1024 by 1024. So what's this? I'm going to show you how to get this 8 down to 2, but it's going to be messy. See, the width and the height are not always going to be the same. So you need a box here where you can type in a width and another one where you can type in a height. And you plug all of those into all of the widths. I can do it on these 2 bottom boxes. I don't know what this is doing now. This is the base. These are the refiner. This is the upscale thing, the upscale model. So is it upscaling from this 1024 to this 4K or 4096, I should say? Is it doing that because, yeah, it's going to upscale from there to there using this. But I don't have these files. So when it says ignored, because I don't have the files, does that mean it's not going to upscale it? I can't cancel this yet because it's still working on the memory efficient processing, so it won't cancel yet. So we can set this up. Let's say I want to make, you've got 4 prompts, we get that down to 2, and you can do the same for this. So right click, no, double click here. And I think it is integer. We need an integer, so it's which one was it now? Nope. No, it's a node that has int on it. I know it does. Oh, I don't know it does, but okay. I'm going to switch to my other. Rusty 3 has it. Ah, primitive, isn't it? Yeah. Is it? Integer. Control. Yeah. Yes, because to do it random would be just, that'd be weird. Okay. Just to have it doing, every time you render, it would do a random upscale of a different size every time. But no, if you want to use this, like if you have to keep putting multiple inputs into, like if you want to switch this to 2048 and you've got to do it on all these boxes, it's a pain in the ass. So let's double click here and just type in prim, and I'm thinking this is going to work, and we'll title this one global height, width, dude. And then let's just do it this way. Alt and drag, and then we'll just title this one as global height. And connect to widget input. Wait a minute, this is different. Mode. How is this different? Where's the thing? Where's the two controls? This doesn't make sense now. For God's sake. Not making any sense. On my thing, we have primitive, but it has these two. Primitive node. Why does this have these two prompts and mine didn't? I don't understand. Oops, that was a bad key combo. Okay. I've just done a copy paste. Right. Is it? Okay. Maybe you have to plug it in first. I don't know. So what we'll do on this one is right click and convert width to input and plug that into the width. Right click. I should have sussed that one out, shouldn't I? Convert height to input. And we're going to plug that into the height. See, it's fixed and it's 496. There you go. Now, on this one, convert width to input and convert height to input. We should be able to take I better title this, eh? Global width. Let's take that and see if we can also plug it in up here. There you go. And this one. Yep, not bothering about capital letters. And this can go to here. So now it's plugged in. This height is plugged into here, here, and this width is plugged into here and here. So now I've only got to change 2. Even though I don't want that, I'm going to knock it down to 1024. Ugh, but Jesus, 1024. Right, that's just going to match the original image. So now that is forcing the width and height at 1024 for both of these. Now you can do the same on these two. Right click, convert width to input, and convert to input. Target width, target height. This is too complex for me, but you get the idea. You just plug all of these integers into all of those things. Let me just undo this before it gets out of hand. I'm pretty sure it's not going to produce a 496 image because I don't have the upscaler. I'd like to see what the image is going to be though. And this is a complex. This is why it's best to create your own, because at least once you've done your own, at least you get to understand what the hell's going on. Okay. So we are using, where's the checkpoint? Okay, it's done. Right, so it's rendering. So it's about to render the base now. The base is ready now, done. It's just decoding. Oh, so the base image is going to go here. And the other one is going to go here. Okay, this might look bad, but I think it's okay. Now it's loading up the refiner. That's either going to go here. Yes, the refined image is going to go here of this one at 1024. And then the upscaled version, which would have been to 496, is going to go here. You've got the base, the refined, and the upscaled. Gotcha. Right, that looks a bit manky, but that's just the base image. So I'm going to try not to worry about that. Maybe altering these is an issue. I don't know. I do have a much simpler layout for Stable Diffusion XL, but it does not make use of these positive R's and negative and negative left and right. It doesn't make use of those. But combining all of these prompts into one might work well, maybe. Steps on the base model, total steps, so there's 20 and 30. I'd have to understand some of this. I need to like pull these out and see where they're going, see where they're plugged in. Just basically move all the boxes out the way, just rip them apart. At the moment, it's still loading the refiner. Once you see it, this green box jump, you know it's done that, and it's on to the next stage. Thing with SDXL is it needs 2 AI models to produce the image. Normally the other ones have got, it's kind of got the base and refiner built into one. This one it's got 2 people, if you like, to do the 2 separate jobs, as opposed to 1 person doing both. Hello, anybody on the chat that might still be there? Probably isn't. Those who have fallen asleep. And we're away. I think it's certainly just got past the next stage on the command line, but still stuck here. My sound just went off because it hasn't been a sound played through the computer for a while. Come on, dudes. This is where it's at. It's loaded all of the memory efficient stuff, and then it jumped and did that paragraph underneath, the vanilla transformers, which sounds like a robot changing into an ice cream. So once it starts rolling again, there we go. It's away. But now it's here on the K sampler. Which box will it jump to next? I'm going to say these 2 at the same time. Well, I don't know. The output is latent, so is it going to jump here? Yeah, it's got no output to go to here. It's pink. The refiner does take a little while. I wonder what it's going to do with this image. Wow, it has work to do. Let's remind ourselves of female cyborg chrome LED eye, perfect face in the style of Charlie Bowater, Alejandro Bordicio, 2 people I have no idea who that is, and intense. Alejandro. I don't even know. We could Google him. That's Charlie Bowater art. Okay. And Alejandro Bedicio. Well done. How do people know these people, these artists? I don't know any of these. Anyway, I'm just thick. Wow, shit. It got the job done. I don't know where the Charlie Bowater comes into it, but I guess maybe on the face. Dude. That's the base, and that's the refiner. That refiner is pretty fine. Wow. Okay. Has it finished? Yes, because it can't upscale because I don't have these, so it can't do the upscaled version. What the hell's over here? Why is there two? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why we've got two of those, but it's complex. Anyway, guys, there's nobody watching, so it's time for me to shift off. So I will catch you next time. Until then, not now. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Take care. I'll catch you next time.